Welcome to Mr. InfoPoints. Today we are going to talk about one of the most shocking, deadly, and surprisingly common problems occurring every single day on American highways, roads, and interstates. It is an issue that most drivers underestimate until the moment it turns their life, or the lives of others, upside down in a split second. And that problem is wrong-way driving, one of the most dangerous traffic violations in the United States. You might think that wrong-way driving sounds obvious. How can someone not see they're going the wrong way? But the truth is, it happens far more often than most people realize, and the consequences are almost always catastrophic. Wrong-way crashes are some of the deadliest traffic incidents because they usually involve head-on collisions, which are far more likely to result in fatalities or life-changing injuries. Every year, hundreds of people are killed in these crashes, thousands more are injured, and countless families are left devastated. And yet, despite public awareness campaigns, law enforcement warnings, and the clear legal consequences, wrong-way driving continues to occur, often with tragic results. Let's start by imagining a normal scenario. You're driving on a typical Sunday afternoon on an interstate. You are relaxed, listening to music, maybe heading to visit friends or family. The road seems calm. Traffic is moderate and you feel safe. Suddenly, from the opposite lane, a vehicle appears, coming straight at you at high speed. Instinctively, you swerve, slam the brakes, honk, scream, but it's too late. A violent collision occurs. The sound of metal crunching, glass shattering, and airbags deploying fills the car. The other driver was going the wrong way, and in that one moment, life changes forever. In most wrong-way crashes, victims do not survive. Head-on impacts at highway speeds are unforgiving, and the physics involved make survival extremely unlikely. It's not just a crash. It's a devastating, instantaneous tragedy, and it is entirely preventable. Now, let's understand why wrong-way driving occurs. In many cases, it is not intentional. Elderly drivers with impaired vision or cognitive decline can accidentally enter an interstate going the wrong direction. Fatigued drivers may make poor decisions late at night. Drivers under the influence of alcohol or drugs often fail to notice road signs, lane markings, or highway entry points, resulting in catastrophic errors. Sometimes GPS errors, confusing signage, or poorly designed interchanges contribute to a driver inadvertently entering the highway incorrectly. Other times, teenagers or inexperienced drivers panic at a turn or miss an exit, attempting to backtrack in a manner that places them on the wrong side of traffic. Regardless of the reason, the result is the same. A vehicle traveling against traffic, often at high speeds, in an environment where other drivers expect cars to move in a uniform direction. Wrong-way crashes are particularly deadly due to the physics of head-on collisions. When two vehicles collide head-on at highway speeds, the combined impact speed can exceed 100 miles per hour. The human body is not built to survive these forces. Seat belts can save lives in many types of crashes, but in head-on collisions, even belted drivers can suffer severe trauma. Internal injuries, skull fractures, spinal cord damage, and organ failure are common. When vehicles are traveling in opposite directions at high speed, the kinetic energy is essentially doubled, which makes wrong-way collisions among the most lethal types of traffic crashes. Studies show that wrong-way crashes are about 12 times more likely to result in a fatality than other types of accidents. Despite these statistics, wrong-way drivers continue to appear on U.S. roads every single day, often late at night with tragic consequences. Consider a real example. In 2019, on a busy freeway in California, a wrong-way driver entered the interstate late at night while under the influence. Within minutes, he collided head-on with a minivan carrying a family returning from a football game. 3 people in the van were killed instantly, and 2 others sustained life-altering injuries. The wrong-way driver also did not survive. This crash was completely preventable. Proper awareness, sober driving, adherence to traffic signs, and paying attention to road markings could have averted this disaster. Yet, despite widespread reporting and campaigns warning drivers of wrong-way dangers, these incidents persist. Every single wrong-way crash begins with a moment of human error, a simple misjudgment that escalates into a catastrophic event. Now let's talk about the human psychology behind wrong-way driving. Many drivers who enter the highway incorrectly do not even realize their mistake until it is too late. In other cases, impaired judgment caused by alcohol, drugs, fatigue, or cognitive decline prevents individuals from recognizing obvious signs that they are traveling in the wrong direction. Some overconfident drivers believe they can fix it before anyone notices, attempting illegal maneuvers to get back onto the correct lane. In all these cases, human error combined with poor decision-making at high speeds creates a deadly recipe. Wrong-way driving is not just a traffic violation. It is a manifestation of risk-taking, distraction, and sometimes negligence or impaired mental state. And the consequences are almost always severe, not just for the wrong-way driver but for everyone else sharing the road. The legal consequences of wrong-way driving in the United States are strict. Driving the wrong way is a criminal traffic violation in almost every state. Penalties include heavy fines, points on the driver's license, mandatory driving courses, license suspension, and in cases involving injury or death, criminal charges including vehicular manslaughter. Repeat offenders face even harsher consequences, including potential prison time. Law enforcement agencies take wrong-way driving extremely seriously because of its high fatality risk. Police departments across the country have implemented measures to detect and prevent wrong-way driving, such as wrong-way detection cameras, flashing warning signs, and improved roadway design to make entry points safer. Despite these interventions, human error remains the most difficult factor to control. Now, imagine the victims, the innocent people affected by wrong-way crashes. Families returning from holidays, commuters driving home from work, teenagers heading to football practice, grandparents visiting their grandchildren. Anyone on the road can be impacted. A single wrong-way vehicle can destroy multiple lives in a matter of seconds. The emotional impact is devastating. Survivors of wrong-way crashes often carry lifelong trauma, grief, and guilt, and families of deceased victims face unimaginable pain. The social and economic costs are also significant. Medical bills, funeral expenses, property damage, insurance claims, and lost wages can amount to hundreds of thousands of dollars per crash. These are avoidable costs, all stemming from a decision to drive the wrong way. Let's also consider the timing and circumstances of wrong-way driving. Statistics show that a large percentage of wrong-way crashes occur at night, particularly between midnight and 6 a.m., when visibility is low and fatigue or alcohol consumption is more likely. Interstates and freeways with multiple lanes, high speeds, and complex exit ramps are the most common locations. In rural areas, wrong-way drivers may travel long distances before encountering another vehicle, sometimes allowing them to correct their mistakes safely. In urban areas, however, the margin for error is smaller, traffic is heavier, and the consequences are often immediate and fatal. Nighttime wrong-way crashes are particularly dangerous because other drivers have less time to react, headlights can create glare, and high-speed impacts are more likely. Now let's discuss preventative measures. For drivers, vigilance is key. Always pay attention to road signs, lane markings, and highway entry points. Do not drive impaired or fatigued. Use technology wisely. GPS can help, but always cross-check with actual road signs. If you realize you are going the wrong way, remain calm. Do not panic. Slow down immediately, turn on hazard lights, and carefully find a safe way to exit or pull over. Alert authorities if possible. Law enforcement agencies advise drivers to avoid abrupt maneuvers that can cause secondary collisions. Safety comes first. Infrastructure and policy interventions also play a critical role. The U.S. Department of Transportation and state DOTs have invested in improved signage, pavement markings, rumble strips, and red wrong-way LED warnings at freeway exit ramps. Some states have implemented wrong-way vehicle detection systems connected to law enforcement, allowing immediate response to prevent collisions. Public education campaigns, such as Drive the Right Way and Stay on Your Side, emphasize awareness, vigilance, and sober driving. Yet, despite all these measures, human error remains the leading factor. Technology can alert and guide, but it cannot control behavior. That responsibility lies squarely with each driver. Let's also address the role of alcohol and drugs. Studies consistently show that a significant percentage of wrong-way crashes involve impaired drivers. Alcohol affects judgment, perception, reaction time, and attention, all critical skills for safe driving. Drugs, including prescription medications, can similarly impair cognition and motor function. Driving while impaired is illegal and deadly. Wrong-way incidents caused by intoxicated drivers are some of the most preventable yet most common, highlighting the need for strict enforcement, public awareness, and personal responsibility. Every wrong-way crash caused by impairment is a tragedy that could have been avoided through sober, focused, and responsible driving. Now let's explore the emotional and societal impact further. Families and communities are profoundly affected. Victims who survive often require long-term rehabilitation, physical therapy, psychological support, and lifestyle adjustments. Children lose parents, spouses lose partners, and communities lose members in ways that statistics alone cannot convey. Wrong-way crashes also place immense pressure on emergency responders, hospitals, and trauma care teams. Each crash requires multiple resources: police, firefighters, paramedics, hospital staff, and insurance investigators, and the economic cost is staggering. The ripple effect of one driver going the wrong way touches far more lives than most people realize. Finally, let's talk about awareness and behavior change. Public education, law enforcement campaigns, and personal responsibility are key. Drivers must understand that the smallest error can have the largest consequences. Wrong-way driving is not a mistake that anyone can recover from with luck. It is an inherently high-risk behavior with nearly unavoidable consequences. Drivers must commit to vigilance, sober driving, adherence to signs and markings, and cautious decision-making at all times. Families, friends, and communities must reinforce this behavior and insist on safe practices. Awareness campaigns highlighting real stories of wrong-way crashes, statistics, and fatalities can save lives by making the invisible danger visible. In conclusion, wrong-way driving is one of the deadliest, most shocking, and preventable threats on American roads today. It is caused by human error, impairment, fatigue, or distraction, and it often results in catastrophic head-on collisions that claim multiple lives in seconds. Prevention requires awareness, responsibility, vigilance, and strict adherence to traffic laws. Every driver has a duty to themselves and to others to drive responsibly, stay alert, and never enter a roadway incorrectly. 2 seconds of distraction, one poor decision, or one lapse in judgment can transform an ordinary day into a lifelong tragedy. America's roads are shared spaces, and each driver's choices affect not only themselves but everyone around them. Safety, responsibility, and awareness are not optional. They are life-saving obligations. Subscribe to the channel for more facts, real stories, and practical guidance that can save lives. Together, one slow, sensible mile at a time. This has been Mr. InfoPoints. We aim to inform, to change behavior, and to save lives through clear facts, real stories, and practical guidance. Drive responsibly, stay alert, and protect not only yourself but everyone sharing the road with you. Arriving safely is always the most important destination. Stay awake, stay vigilant, and we will meet again in our next episode with another vital topic that affects everyday life.